Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, November the 25th. It is Thanksgiving Eve, and for the first time all by myself, I made our church's cranberry relish for our Thanksgiving table tomorrow. Yum, yum. I can't wait to taste it. So as I was thinking about Thanksgiving and what to share with you today, I was thinking about that text in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, about the 10 lepers. So I'm just going to read it and then just talk a little bit about it as I go through it. And hopefully it'll make a difference in your Thanksgiving tomorrow. Now, on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." Of course, they had to stay at a distance because according to the laws of the time, if you had a skin disease like leprosy, you had to keep a certain distance between you and other healthy people. And surely these lepers, they'd heard about Jesus. They're thinking, if he can give sight to the blind, if he can heal the lame, if he can raise the dead, surely he would have the power to heal them too. I mean, they were already outcasts, so they really had nothing to lose by crying out for Jesus, saying, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go show yourselves to the priest." Now, he tells them to go to the priest because the priests were like the referees of the first century who would sort of give you a good housekeeping seal of approval. That would verify their healing. So if someone had been already deemed unclean, if you go to the priests and they took a look at you and saw that you were healed, then they could restore you back to your community. You could go home. Now, will they go? I mean, there's really no guarantee that when they go, they actually would be healed because they weren't healed at that moment. Jesus said, "Go. Show yourselves to the priests." So Matthew Henry says this in his commentary, that this was a trial of their obedience. How would they respond to the Lord's command? But there must have been something about the way Jesus said it, something in his eyes, maybe a sense of authority that he carried with them that led them to think, we should do this. We should go and show ourselves to the priest. And as they went, the text says, they were cleansed. As they went, they were cleansed. They had to first take that step of faith, and then they were given healing. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Now, until this time, these 10 lepers had really just stayed together. They had their own band of brothers, so to speak, and they had suffered together. They probably cried together. They cried out for mercy together. But all of a sudden, this one peels off from the other 9 and makes a beeline right back to Jesus. He knows that he has been blessed. And he wants to go back and express his gratitude to Jesus. So first he sees that he was healed, and then he turns, and then he praises. First he sees what God has done. Then he turns from what he was doing, and he goes back and he offers thanksgiving and praise to Jesus. Now, Jesus asks, were not all 10 cleansed? I mean, where are the other 9? Are you the only guy who came back to give me thanks? Now, some people struggle with this because they think, oh, God is so vain. Jesus is so vain that he wants people all the time to be bowing down to him and saying thank you. No. When we give thanks to God, God knows that it changes us. It's not about him. He doesn't change. It's not about Jesus. It's about us. We are changed as our hearts are moved to give thanks to God in all circumstances. Richard Emmons says this: gratefulness is a knowing awareness that we are the recipients of goodness. Gratefulness is a knowing awareness that we are the recipients of goodness. The 9 who didn't turn around and give thanks weren't lined up with the truth of the universe, which is that we are the recipients, not the creators of goodness. We are the recipients from God of goodness. We are not the creators of goodness. And then what does Jesus say to this one who came back? He says, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." Now that word "well" it's a shalom. It's a sense of a well-being, body, mind, and spirit. Your faith has made you well. When we lift our hearts in thanksgiving and gratitude, it brings benefits not just to our own lives, but it brings benefits to the whole world. The other 9, they had a cure. They were cured. But the one who was also thankful about his curing, he then was given a relationship with Jesus. He had the fullness of healing. Nothing broken, nothing missing. Shalom. Because of his decision to see and to turn and to praise. This Thanksgiving season, may we all remember that we are not the creators of goodness, but we are the recipients of goodness. And so let's remember to make room for Jesus at our Thanksgiving tables. Amen. Amen. God bless you all. Happy Thanksgiving.